Hey, it's Deborah Poneman, founder of Yes to Success Seminars, where we offer tools and knowledge for you to live your ultimate life and ageless, anti-aging for your brain, your body, and your future. And as always, it's wonderful to be here with you at this exciting and crucial time on our planet. And today, my message is about stepping up and doing our part. And if you're listening to this message, it's because you are meant to be a part of the solution. The world is going through a lot of changes these days. So instead of spending your time feeling helpless and saying, I just don't know what one person can do, instead, I suggest you say, this is the moment I incarnated for. This is the moment that I've been given to counteract the energy of fear on earth. As our political divide seems as wide as it's ever been, maybe in all of history, but definitely in recent history, as untruths fill our airways, as climate situations are happening in rapid succession, even in places like Chicago, where there are no forests to have fires, they have the worst air quality of any city in the world because of the climate disasters hundreds and hundreds of miles away. And as according to the FBI hate crimes database, bias motivated attacks have risen beginning in 2016 to the highest level on record. And the fear around the pandemic continues to be stoked, and new diseases are announced to be feared and are making their way into the mass consciousness. What we need to do is pick up our swords and fight with light. How do we do that? By radiating the opposite of fear. Forget about the list I just rattled off. That is the last time you need to hear it. And instead, focus on what radiates love and peace. And if enough of us radiate love and peace, we can and will triumph over the energy of fear that's been slowly engulfing our world. You know, many seers are saying that we're in the middle of a war, and the war is between the light and the dark. And it's a war that's been going on for millennia. And now you have the chance, actually the sacred duty, to be a warrior for the light. That's why you were born at this time. And it's not the sacred duty of everyone who is born at this time. But if you're listening to this message, it's not by chance. It's because you have volunteered to be a foot soldier for the light. As Rainer Maria Rilke once famously said, let us not squander the hour of our pain. So what can you do to bring in the light, to raise the vibration of the earth? Well, I have some suggestions, and I'm sure you do too, which you can write in the comments below. And one is my old favorite. Notice where you're putting your attention, because what we put our attention on grows in our lives. And because we're energetic beings, our vibration cascades throughout all of creation. So does what you're putting your attention on uplift you? Does it empower you? Does it bring you joy? Does it imbibe you with a vibration of happiness and thus cause you to spread a vibration of happiness throughout your environment, like a pebble being dropped in a pond and radiating to every corner of that pond? Or does what you put your attention on and talk about with your friends dim your light, contract you, make you more fearful? Why would you do that to yourself and the world? I'm not saying to not stay informed and stick your head in the sand like an ostrich, but I am saying not to indulge in that which dims your light, like the news. It's designed to make you more filled with fear because, like a car wreck on a highway, everyone wants to see what's going on. And the more bloody and sensationalized it is, the more people want to crane their necks to see it, and the more advertising dollars flow in. The information you truly need will find you. I promise you that. You won't be blindsided. So I'm sure you remember the story of the grandfather who was teaching his grandson about life. You know, the story of the wolves. I actually have it here. I'm going to share it with you. A Cherokee elder was teaching his young grandson about life. A fight is going on inside me, he said to the boy. It's a terrible fight, and it's between two wolves. One is evil. He is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, self-doubt, and ego. The other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. This same fight is going on inside you and inside every other person. The boy thought about that for a minute and then asked his grandfather, which wolf will win? And the elder simply replied, the one you feed. So now at this time, if you want to watch the news, find the pieces about all the organizations feeding people, giving them shelter during war and natural disasters. Share with your friends every uplifting article you can find, like the article about the lost dog that showed up at his owner's door 6 months later. I mean, doesn't that just that idea uplift you? Find stories of people doing random acts of kindness and uplifting one another. I don't even like to be around people who are like, oh, did you hear that there is another carjacking on the north side? Frankly, I don't want to vibrate with carjacking, which I do when it's put in my energy field. So instead, share stories about people working for sensible gun control. My friend Helen's amazing daughter, Kayla, was a finalist in Pharrell Williams' nonprofit Black Ambition, where young entrepreneurs pitch their ideas. And her invention, dedicated to promoting the safe storage of firearms through media and technology, called My Gun's Been Moved, won $25,000. So if you know anyone who owns a gun, share with them. My Gun's Been Moved, which is a pad that you store your gun on. And if it gets moved even a millimeter, you're alerted immediately, because people forget to even lock their gun cabinets. We are so proud of her. That's what you want to share. Subscribe to CNN The Good Stuff, where they share all the good stuff that's happened during the week, or the Optimist Daily, and hear all the work that's going on to, for example, counteract global warming, or watch things that make you laugh. I love Ted Lasso. It's so touching, but I laugh out loud. And last Wednesday, I was a speaker on an event for Humanity's Team with the founders, Steve Farrell and Neil Donald Walsh. And one of the other speakers was a woman named Jacqueline Way, who's the founder and executive director of an organization called 365 Give. She started 365 Give as a personal parenting project with her son, Nick, when he was just 3 years old. And they made a commitment together to every day give for 1 year. And after seeing the transformational impact it had on their lives, they knew they had to share this concept with others, and started a nonprofit to inspire others to give in some way every single day. And guess what? If you're feeling depressed, the doctors and psychologists and the metaphysicians of antiquity have said, do this one thing. If you want to shift it, wake up in the morning and ask yourself, how can I give? How can I serve? How can I uplift someone today? And go and do it. It's been scientifically proven that when people perform charitable acts, when they volunteer or donate to support a cause, or just do a random act of kindness, like baking someone a cake for their birthday, or handing out food at a soup kitchen, or going to visit your elderly aunt in the nursing home just to brighten her day. When you do an act of kindness, it triggers the release of oxytocin, which is the feel-good hormone. And that release results in reduced anxiety levels, and what you radiate changes the energy around you. Oh, and it also, your cortisol levels go up, which of course is go down, which of course is the stress hormone. So these acts result in less depression and a reduction in disease that are stress diseases that are stress related, like heart disease and insomnia. There was actually a study done by a man named George Moll, M-O-L-L, Moll, at the National Institutes of Health. And he found that when people did acts of kindness, even just donating to a charity, it activated a region of the brain associated with pleasure. Just writing the check created what he called a warm glow effect. And furthermore, it was found that even just thinking about doing a random act of kindness released endorphins in the brain, producing the positive feeling known as the helper's high. So if you're not feeling good and you want to feel good and radiate good, just ask, what can I do to uplift someone else today? And another thing you can do is do things that make you happy. Do you like to garden, make art, sing? My friend Gina joined a choir for the first time in her 50s. And guess what? She is so happy. She glows after a concert, and her husband's so proud of her. Me, I love spending time with my godchildren. As you know, I took one of them to Disneyland a couple weeks ago, and I still have a smile on my face 2 weeks later, especially when I look at the pictures. Again, write in the comments what you do that makes you happy. You'll give us all ideas. Another thing you could do is practice gratitude. Before you go to bed at night or first thing in the morning or whenever, just do it regularly. Think about or write down all the things you're grateful for. Again, it raises your vibration. And it's not about dismissing sadness or anger or fear or confusion. There's a lot of sadness in the world right now, but practicing gratitude gives us the opportunity to see that we can experience multiple feelings at once. We can hold sadness and still have incredible gratitude. So do what you need to do to raise your vibration, because all we need to do to raise the vibration of the planet is more and more people raising their own vibration and becoming warriors for the light. A rising tide lifts all boats. So speak what is uplifting, think what is uplifting. Like Abraham Hicks said, whatever you're thinking about is literally like planning a future event. When you're worrying, you're planning. When you're appreciating, you're planning. So what are you planning? Hopefully the answer is a world filled with love and peace. And let's start with today. See how much love, appreciation, gratitude, and uplifting vibration you can add to the world. Take it a day at a time. Set the intention first thing in the morning. Today, I'm going to be a warrior for the light, and spread light in the darkness. You with me? So I hope so. I'll see you next week. And together, let's create a world filled with light, one day at a time. We've got this one.